right, Chance, pick us back up.
All right, so good talks about the studio. How's it rolling everything out? Like getting music videos together, promos, album artwork, updated logo, like everything. What was your favorite and least favorite experience in all of that?
Well, I think for me, leaving the studio was, as hard as it was like, I don't know how you felt, but like when I got home, I felt like drained.
Yeah.
It was like a sigh.
I gave it all.
I feel like there was like all this weight was off my shoulders at that point. Because I was like midway through the entire process, I was like, there's no chance we're going to have like a record. And then finally having that Google Drive with 10 songs, I was like, hell yeah. Like, thank God. And I remember like listening to it and I was just like, there's no way that we did this.
It was a blur, like entire.
Literally crazy.
Because what was the next thing we did? Was
Christmas Burns Red.
We did,
Christmas Burns Red.
yeah, so I feel like I
got COVID.
Yeah.
You were my first show at the band, I got COVID. I couldn't play.
Like, it's okay. It wasn't even that good of a show.
Well, actually, like,
show we were
it's kind of interesting because we were supposed to go and do that Bring Me the Horizon tour. And like it was
that was a lot of the pressure, to get the album done.
Yeah, because it was like we're gonna have to go in February. I think it was February, end of January to go do that, and we didn't know until like the 11th hour that we're either going on this tour or not going on this tour. So it was like not until literally January where it was like, oh yeah, this tour is not happening, and a part of me was like, thank God. We still played those like headline UK shows.
I was very stoked because those would have been my first shows in fucking arenas. My first show in a band, I would literally have fucking lost my mind.
Yeah, amazing.
That was terrifying.
It would have been beast, dude.
Oh yeah, we did.
I was hyped, dude. I was like, dude, I hope we do this. And then didn't happen.
Well, I wanted to do it because it's like a bucket list thing for me because I love Bring Me the Horizon, but it's just like
name 5 songs.
I'm just gonna name everything.
Okay,
fucking count your buses.
I forget about the UK tour though. Yeah, we always forget about that. That was like our first thing after the album was done.
Yeah,
and then
didn't we go like it was like tour, music video,
the same
tour, like right back into it.
Yeah, because we did those UK shows, and then we were supposed to shoot a video for Into the Earth while we were there, but the guy that was supposed to shoot it, he got sick, so he didn't come, and then we ended up doing a Sun Eater video.
Everybody was just getting COVID back then.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the COVID days, dude.
And then, we just managed to, like, salvage doing a Sun Eater video, like, literally a day before we shot it. We're like, oh, we can go to this place.
Yeah, we played London, and Loki was shooting the live video, and then we were like, could you find us a video to shoot in 2 days before we fly home?
And he was like, yeah.
And then we shot Sun Eater, but, I mean, none of us even, like I was saying, we were all prepared to do Into the Earth, and then just Sun Eater performance video.
That was so...
rock and roll.
Shot.
It was so shot.
That was a rough day.
That was driving with Loki down the street.
Dude.
Oh, God.
Just like,
dude. Probably a little bit my fault.
There's a lot of evolving in that decision. That
was a crazy day.
Yeah, that was definitely a wild day.
So, but we shot Sun Eater and then
came home.
But what was the next video we fizzled with Curse to Die? Obviously.
Yeah, because we did Into the Earth.
That was a bit later.
Yeah, but we did Into the Earth, but we didn't have to shoot the video.
Yeah.
But those conversations were going on for about like months.
Yeah.
But we got back from the UK, and that's when, like, maybe shortly after that is when we had to, like, get ready to turn in the record. And then you and I flew out to Michigan to do mix notes in person. And then I was turning in solos. Like, that's kind of what the whole plan was.
And then I got COVID.
Weren't you guys doing swells too or something like that?
Yeah, we're like, with the every little me and Josh on the talkback mic.
That's crazy.
While Adam's doing something
that's the secret
so
right there.
In the other room, me and him are just fucking taking out little like clips of music, snare bombs, just making it sick, and then we mixed the songs in the car.
That was sick.
Yeah, that was sick because when we were like, I was like, yo, it sounds good on headphones, but in the car it just doesn't sound good. And then he rigged up a whole thing, had like a wireless thing for his computer to go in the car and mix the drums from his car while listening to it through his car.
It was honestly so stupid. It was the dumbest thing.
It beasted.
But it was sick.
It made sense. So he mixed a lot of that record sitting in his
Toyota
2007 Toyota Camry. Wow. Yeah. I remember we had to pull it out of the garage because he was like, we might get like carbon dioxide poisoning if we sit in here and do this. And then I got COVID, which was sick. I got everyone sick in that house. And then we came home. Record was done.
Yeah, honestly, because I feel like throughout the entire process of doing the record, I just kept thinking once we get to this point, I was like, it'll be a breeze. So I was like, cool. Once we get to like finishing the record in the studio, it's gonna be easy. And then I was like,
That was a marathon. That was just the beginning.
and that
of
yeah,
everything.
exactly. Because then after that was like, all right. Then I was like, cool. Once I finish solos, like it'll be easy. Because I was like stressing out during like those like 4 months to like do all these do 10 solos for a record. And then I was like, all right, cool. Once we turn in the solos, we mix the record, we'll be good. And then it was like,
Pain
well,
Remains music video.
then before that, it was like turning in the record, like getting album art. Then there was that whole debacle. Then it was, okay, cool. Once we get that turned in, we'll be good. Then it was, well, no, hold on. Once you do all these music videos, then it just kept moving the yard post of like when I feel like I could relax.
And we did so many music videos.
Bro,
All the tours in between all of that.
yeah.
Because we left for Chaos and Carnage. And then,
Or we came back. At one point, we had like 3 days of shooting for something.
well, yes.
Curse to Die.
Yeah. we
Curse
did
to Die
Chaos
was
and Carnage,
before
then Curse-
Coraopolis.
Okay, yeah. That's
Yeah, we did Chaos and Carnage. Then we shot Curse to Die. Sun Eater came out while we were on Chaos and Carnage.
Yeah.
And then we left for European festivals. Came back, shot 3 music videos for the Pain Remains trilogy.
In like
Yeah,
4
I
days.
Yeah.
Austin couldn't even fucking walk.
Yeah.
I was just on an deflated air mattress. People were giving me pizza.
Mhm.
And,
And I kept saying, are you okay to shoot? And you're like, yeah, I'll be fine. And I'm like, there's no chance.
Yeah, you're not okay.
literally picking me up, putting me on the seat, barely getting off the seat.
Yeah,
That
that
would
was
be just put you on the hotel.
Yeah, that was
What the hell
that
was
was
that
during a
called?
writing session. Yeah,
that was during the writing session.
all throughout Pain Remains, my back was broken.
Yeah.
The
Was it
first
Battlestar
writing session, I remember he
Sciatica?
was like, "Yo, we might get this Bring the Horizon tour." I'm just in the hotel.
You watching the Notorious
I couldn't even.
movie.
I couldn't even get up and piss.
Yeah, you couldn't.
I just called my mom. I was like,
Oh,
Yeah, I remember I tried cheering you up because I was like, yo, we just got this Bring Me the Horizon offer.
yeah, it made me feel worse.
And then you were like, and then you were like, I'm just watching Notorious. And I'm like,
Oh, and then it was Get Rich or Die Trying.
yeah, I was like,
Full marathon.
I guess you're not feeling any better.
No.
So, all right, Austin, we'll be back in a little bit. Like,
I think Will came.
I came one day. You called me on the phone. You were like,
He came just to put a cup near me so I could pee in it.
"That's my boy right there. Don't forget that."
And then you wheeled me out on the freaking
Bellhop.
bellhop.
Yeah.
Everyone's looking
That
at me
was
like, what's wrong with this
insane.
guy?
And you're like this. You're like,
Then Adam carried me into the studio the last day, and then then I was laying on the couch, and they had the monitor
yeah.
just blasting. Like, I wasn't even in the room of the studio. You guys were in studio. I'm in studio, being on the couch, and just hearing you, like, it was like, I was like, oh my god, just turn this off. They ain't helping.
Yeah, we literally put a regular monitor in front of the couch so Austin can lay
But I heard everything.
Heard everything.
Every little giblet.
We made sure you heard it.
Yeah.
I had to fucking learn how to play the set in 3 days for Parkway Drive.
Yeah, I mean,
It's terrifying.
Pain Remains videos, that whole coming home from that first Europe, because that was crazy, obviously, like the first Europe, like, I mean, that was like our first Europe tour together, truly, after the first, like,
Yeah.
hurrah with
"You're the captain."
filling in for Lorna Shore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Filling in, bro.
that
Still
was,
filling
so, like, that was
Still
our
filling
first
in.
time actually
Still filling in
playing.
to this day.
We might give you a spot. Who knows?
Only
Only person that's actually really
might
in the
make
band
it.
is Moke.
Yeah, most
Mostly, actually, yeah.
Moke's the only officially announced member of this band, so we're all filling in. This is your show.
Great. I
Take it away.
feel like Pete Wentz.
But yeah, no, we did those festivals, and that's when your back started fucking up again.
Yeah, round 2.
Oh,
Pain
yeah,
Remains.
the sequel.
Yeah, it was Pain
Battlestar
Remains.
Sciatica.
The
Yeah.
Battlestar Sciatica.
It was rough. Powered through, felt like shit every day, and then get to Summer Breeze.
Oh, okay.
Which
Summer
is like-
Breeze was real bad. I
that was
remember.
bad.
Yeah, that was terrible. The
We-
day before we pulled up to the fest, and it was like, sick bands are playing. Sounded like a great idea. I can't remember.
the emergency
I
thing
had fun.
immediately.
We had fun.
Me and Moke watched Cannibal Corpse.
So I woke up that day, and Eric Rutan from Cannibal Corpse put me around his shoulder and brought me to the hospital tent.
Yeah.
And called Steve. It was like, this guy needs help. I don't know what's wrong with him. Gave me, just some advice because he had whiplash. He was like, yeah, maybe you'll be all right. I was like, thanks, man. And then I was in the hospital all day, German hospital. I don't even know what you guys are doing. I'm like,
Watching Cannibal Corpse.
watching Cannibal Corpse. I'm in this German hospital. They think I'm not. They don't even know where I'm from, how I got there. Asking me all these questions. I'm like, yo, Adam, they won't let me in unless I have $300, like cash. I can't pay with my card. I need 300 euros cash right now. So then our tour manager had to bring me 300 euros, paid them it, They put me to sleep. That basically all they did was just put me to sleep for like an hour. I woke up, I just had about 250 euro on my chest. And I said, and they're like, you're good to go. You feel better? I'm like, no, I'm awful. They wheeled me out. And then I got picked up and we played Summer Breeze the next day. I don't know. It was such a blur.
Yeah.
And I just remember the crowd just going
No, that
crazy, like, Lord, it was like the Super Bowl. And I'm just crying on the drum seat.
I literally looked at you. I looked at you on stage. And I said, Austin, just get through these 5 songs.
And I'm literally there, just like crying. Like, yeah.
I like turned around to you playing the set, just like, you got this, dude, and you're just fucking dying.
Oh,
This is not fun
and of course
right
that's taped for the whole world to see.
I
Just
know.
don't tell me how bad I am.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Go for it. Disney Redux of Austin's back broken. Put the Disney songs on it.
Yeah.
But I mean, Summer Breeze, like, even though I was in that much pain, it really kind of like shifted just because that was the biggest crowd I think I'd ever seen in my life.
That was the biggest crowd we've ever played
At
to.
the time.
At the
It
time,
was
like literally
awesome.
ever.
It was huge.
I
It
think
was
at that point
the
it was the biggest
scariest
crowd
thing.
I've ever seen.
That was
Yeah.
I felt like we played in front of the world.
It was
Yeah.
kind of scary.
Like,
It
it
was
was
an
a whole-
endless sea of people.
It was a whole field of like 30,000 like just Germans, and I was like, this is insane. Like this, I've never seen this many people like ever. I don't think I've ever crossed this many people
Yeah,
in my
no.
life.
At like 12:30 p.m.
raining.
It was nuts. But I remember like that was, I never like ugly cried ever in my life with the band. After we played, like I literally just ran off stage to like the green room and just like, I think I probably looked hideous, just bawling my eyes out.
No.
I was like, I literally, because I had the laptop, I was like, I'm gonna go put the laptop in my backpack. I'm sitting there like walking to the tent, just like trying to dust off my eyes. Like people try to take photos with me, I'm probably like,
You looked like terrible.
yeah, like you're alright.
Just
Like,
look
yeah,
like
I
you're
go
fucking
drop off
melting
the laptop,
in
and then
pain.
I just like get into that little fucking green room, and I'm just like I bawled. I made sure I closed the blind because like there's a window. I was like, no one's gonna catch me fucking looking like this. I remember I just I let it go, and I was like, because it was just like insane. Because I feel like there was like a coming to moment of like. I think during this entire time, everyone told us how big our band was, but I don't think we realized.
We had no
No.
perspective at all.
Literally, I still thought of ourselves as like a VFW band to play to like 11 people who didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh yeah, like you guys are like massive. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I have no idea. We're still in a band that doesn't, their doors don't work.
Yeah.
Like we're not massive at all.
It's the back door doesn't fucking work.
I mean,
Yes.
we were in the
Rest in
mini
peace
night
to that van.
We're in the mini nightliner.
Yeah, like I
You know,
didn't
we're
feel,
hanging out.
I didn't feel anything bigger, but like that day was like insane. I remember it was like we played that set. I was like, I don't know how we got through it.
I
You
mean,
can see it on my face in the video where I'm just like taking the biggest breath I've ever like taken in my entire life, just terrified. And I was like, all right, cool, we're playing for all these people. Like, Austin's back doesn't work.
I think it was impossible to see given like the time that everything was sort of happening, you know, because the first half of the year it was like so much focus was being put on like finishing the record,
Yeah.
getting it mixed and mastered, finishing solos, you know. Then we are just touring during all of this time in between that, shooting music videos, and you know we keep hearing the band's growing, and we see it on some level, but we had no real perspective of what that actually meant. And I think Summer Breeze was the day that like really opened our eyes to seeing like how many people have actually heard of us at that point.
Yeah.
Because before we played, there was not that many people out there. You know, I don't know if you guys remember.
No, there
that,
wasn't.
But
There was
before
nobody.
we went on stage, which was at like 12:30 in the afternoon. You know, there was not that many people out there. And then right before we were about to walk out, it was just a sea of people, like 20,000 plus people.
Oh, it
maybe
was-
even 30,000.
It was wild.
It was,
was-
game time.
I remember I tried like
insane thing I've
it
ever
was-
seen.
I tried
crazy.
hyping myself up to be like, yeah, no, this could be amazing. I'm gonna crush it. In my head, I'm like, you're gonna fucking fail.
Dude, I remember specifically, I'm like walking back and forth, jumping up and down. I'm like, dude, keep it together and act like you're not scared to go do this so everybody else kind of feels that way. I was shitting
Oh,
myself.
I mean, I was on the rolly drum rack, and once I was on that seat, I wasn't moving.
I think they
and they
rolled you on
rolled me
stage.
out when it was already set up, and people were like setting up my cables. I'm just like this. And then it was like time to play, and I was like, all right, straighten your back up for 30 minutes, and then I gave out. But I mean,
Dude.
that was definitely an emotional day on all parts, and like the record wasn't even out yet, but we'd had songs. Like I think Sun Eater was
Sun Eater
out.
was out, Curse to Die, and Into the
And
Earth
then
was
Into the
out.
Earth, yeah. So like the album wasn't even out. I think how long after the EP was out? That's like a year.
That,
maybe?
that was a year because like we played Bloodstock like a week or two before that, which was like the technical like
Oh,
year
yeah, yeah,
anniversary of that, which is also a crazy show.
Yeah, that was a
That
crazy
was
show.
It was
honestly
the worst day.
Oh, Bloodstock was awesome.
That was my
my boy.
hate that day.
We were storming the beaches.
Oh my!
The day before we were supposed to leave, at bus call, and we ended up missing bus call by like 2 hours.
Missed
The worst part is that like everyone else's bus call was like 4 hours before ours was. Everyone, I was like, "Where are you guys going?" They're like, "Oh, we have to go play a show like 6 hours away." I was like, "Yeah, so do we." And they're like, "When are you guys leaving?" And I was like, "I think like 2." And they're like, "Yeah, we're leaving like now." And it was like 8 o'clock, and I'm like, "Oh, we should be fine." I know we gotta take a ferry over, but it should be.
Yeah, and then
Should be a breeze. And
Missed the ferry.
Looking for our Tormentor merch guy. He's rolling around in dirt. What was that festival?
Alcatraz.
Alcatraz.
That was.
We had to go find him.
And we found him. We found him.
we found him.
He was in
We
front of the
carried
merch.
that merch box.
Oh my god.
It was like
I don't even want.
I was sweating.
I carried that guy.
You went past.
like a human being.
You went past me. I remember that. You got somebody to give you a ride. And you went right
I
past
flagged
me.
the
You left
guy
me
down. I
behind.
screamed out.
No
Yo,
way.
Yeah, no, straight
And
up.
he,
said,
and
"Yo,
he went right past me.
motherfucker."
And he left me.
what are you doing right now? He's like, I gotta do this. It's like, you're not doing that. You're fucking driving me back. I'm carrying these merch boxes. You don't look like you're doing anything. You're taking me.
Peace.
And I passed both of them. I was like, give me your fucking boxes right now.
You didn't take my boxes, dude.
So what happened was like, so we were I ended up selling merch because I was like, our tour manager cannot settle this at all. He was just like smoking a cig in the tent. I was like, I'll handle it. I'll get the bank information.
Good
I'll
guy.
he was
Really good guy.
Shout out Kieran.
We love you, Kieran. We're saying this out of love.
Favorite person.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
We love Kieran.
My favorite block. But so then I was like, okay, cool. So we had like merch boxes left over, and I said to the guy, I was like, can you call a shuttle? He was like, there's no more shuttles. And I'm like, you gotta be joking me. The merch tent is the furthest place
The off
from where the bus were. And I was like, I'm carrying 2 boxes. The boxes are breaking on me. And then like
Except
on the main stage, Sept is playing balls to the wall. While
You
Harry's
got your balls to the wall.
I'm holding these boxes, and I'm like, I hate this band more than anything else. My band included. Like, I'm never doing this again. Fuck this place. And then all of a sudden, Moke shows up with no shirt on, with a dude on a golf cart. He's like, give me these boxes. Like, get on. I was like, no, take these boxes. I'm just going to go for a walk. I need to clear my head a little bit. And then I finally get back to the bus. And then he shows up with Kieran after the fact with a
With
burger
food.
and fries.
Yep.
I was fucking starving.
He was
Dude,
about to die, dude.
dude,
He needed
legitimately,
a fries.
we were in the tent, and when I heard the woman say to him that there was no more shuttles and she was handing over the bag stuff, I'm literally in the tent. I put a cigarette in my mouth, I light it, I'm just like, we're about to have to fucking carry these right now.
100%. It was terrible.
Smoking inside. They're like yelling at me, like, I don't want to hear this right
Yeah,
now.
I
dude.
remember.
Please
I
leave."
remember the Bloodstock debacle was
We
like
got there late.
we got there late. We missed the ferry. We caught the later ferry. We were driving, and homie was like, "You playing at you
Oh
play
my
at 3
God.
you play at 3:15."
Oh my God.
Or he's like, "You playing at 3:15?" We're like, "All right, cool." And then it was like, "Wait, that's 13:15. That's 1:15, not 3:15." He's like, "Oh, we'll be all right. It is probably 1:05." And we're driving through just dirt trying to find the damn
We
stage.
got to
Flying.
the stage 15 minutes before we were supposed to start our set.
It was
Nothing
into
set
our
up.
changeover.
Our
Yeah, it was like
trailer
5
not
minutes.
Loaded. Everything.
I remember.
was still
I wake up.
Short,
Because we got to the like ferry, we missed it, and I was like, all right, cool, we'll get on the next one. So then I was like, all right, I'll fall asleep, and then I'll wake up and be fine. So I wake up and I look at my phone, but I was like, maybe like the service is kind of off. But I like looked at the map and I was like, it says we're like an hour and 45 away, and it was like 11 something, and I was
Yeah.
like, all right, like whatever, we don't play till 3:15. Then I look at the schedule and I like think I saw on Instagram, it said we play at like 13:15, like you said. And I was like, oh no, we play like soon. Like I was like, the amount of time we have like an hour and 45 till we get there. And
It's like 1:10.
and we literally have to play in an hour and 45. And I was like, okay.
I think we stood. I remember just being so anxious that no one sat. We just stood up and we were
In the
just
van.
like looking at the map, being like, "When are we gonna get?"
We were all just ready by the door like this. We're like,
I know.
as soon as
And
get
all we were
there-
here was Power Trip Swing the Axe.
Yeah.
The entire.
I looked at you, I was like, song's kind of awesome. I was like, I'm never going to be listen to it ever again.
No,
'cause
I
think
could
about
I
this
could
moment.
never listen to that song ever again because that's all I heard, just being like, we're stuck here and we're never gonna make this show.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
the crew guys definitely. I don't even remember anything. I remember just everyone grabbing one thing, running on that stage, and then it was just like set up.
I was shirtless in shorts on stage in front of 8,000 people screaming at hands.
Yeah, no,
telling
straight
everybody
up.
to
Like
put shit.
we were.
Oh yeah, we all got changed in our stage clothes
Oh.
after we set up our own shit.
Yeah, we set up
Yeah.
our own shit. But before that, I remember like everyone was like so down in the dumps. So like with like 5 minutes till we got there, I had to give the most like Uncle Sam like United States speech I could ever possibly give, like Captain America's speech, and I was like, we're the only American band on this show today. I was like, we gotta fucking show them who we are. I was like, we have to do. I just like started just citing every.
Just screaming.
I think the last words were, "This one's for the Stars and Stripes."
I literally said that.
And then the bus hit the brakes as hard as it could. The door flew open simultaneously.
Dust everywhere.
Dust poured into the thing. We all just jumped out through the dust fog and started grabbing a damn case.
We're grabbing everything.
Screaming at hands.
The backdrop's getting flown. I think that was the first time we ever used that backdrop.
Yes, the first time we ever used
And
that.
it was the biggest backdrop. It was so sick.
And then literally, there was like a guy who was like bringing me a cable because my wireless broke, and then he like wanted me to like meet his kid, and I'm sitting there just in my underwear, like trying to get dressed to go on stage. And I'm like,
hey buddy.
Yeah, like I can't do this right now. Like I gotta go play this show. And then it was like the hottest day ever.
It was
recorded.
It was like 112 degrees
And, like,
The
outside.
heat wave, the heat wave, not the chilly heat wave.
No, it was the chilly heat wave.
English
And
heat
every
wave.
time we go to Europe or the UK, it's always a heat wave. Like, this is hotter than
It was
it's ever been.
terrible.
Like, we
And
were here
then
last year,
They got
it
us
was hot.
hot.
I remember I felt like I saw the stage because like where the sun was, like I guess that the other half of the stage got shade, but like I was just stuck in the sun. I felt like my boots were melting to the stage. I just could not move. I was like, this is honestly horrible. And I was just like played so horribly because like we literally just threw
Me and you had each other's in-ear mixes.
Oh, it was awful. And I remember there was a guy
It
who
was
wanted to get our RF frequencies because you had to like pay for like radio stuff. And
You were like, go fuck
Yeah,
yourself.
like,
You're not getting them right now.
now's not the time, buddy. He was just like, okay. And we just managed to get through that show, and then we had to go do press for the record, like, and a meet and greet right after that.
Yeah.
Like I remember,
We
I
were
was like,
all still hyped up, fucking sprinting around. I didn't get a second.
It was very quick, but I do remember at least that moment of sitting there and doing that. It was like I didn't feel like we played the best show. It was like definitely like not in that mindset, but it was just crazy to see like that we had like because we did it because they're like you have the longest line that you gotta go do it, and it was like a lot of people. Like we were just rifling through people.
oh yeah, I felt
just-
like I feel like a zoo animal.
I hate it when it's like
Dude, I just remember getting off stage being so like bummed because like I don't even know how I played because my everything was so fucked up. And Alex from Malevolence comes up to me like goes to dab me up, and I'm a huge Malevolence fan. And I was just like,
Bad.
that was fucking terrible. And he was just like, I thought it was sick. I was like, that's all I need, I guess. And I just walked away. I was like, bro,
bummed. The set was
like-
bummed. And then seeing Dimmu Borgir playing close in at a picnic table.
That was-
that bummed me out.
Yeah, because like that was like a band I was so hyped to see, but they're just eating catering, just in normal plain clothes at this picnic table, and I was like, you're not supposed to be doing that. You can't have a full.
you guys gotta.
You can't have a falafel wrap right now.
Yeah, I thought you were supposed to ride it on a dragon. They're eating the falafel wrap in front of me.
Yeah, but I mean, the show was sick. I'm glad we played it. Like, people seemed to like after
when we finished that set, I was like, holy fucking shit! I can't believe we actually pulled that off.
Yeah, because that was insane.
It was beat.
Yeah, I mean, really, it feels like up until this point. So we're at the Europe season. We're just getting by the skin of our teeth.
every single fucking time.
And then we come home from that, and it's Austin's back's broken.
Then we went to Parkway.
Skin of the
Yes.
teeth, right?
Yeah. So basically, we got back, and then
Barely made it through a music video.
we had to shoot 3 videos in 4 days. After we got home, literally the next day, we had to go shoot those videos, or like the day after that, or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
and then we shot those videos, and then we were having like you were trying to take care of stuff for your back to see if it felt better, and like
it just wasn't getting
it wasn't getting any better. And I remember I saw you, and I was like, you cannot walk, and we go on tour in like 5 days.
Yeah.
I was like, you have to stay home, which was like. I think back to that, and I was like such a hard. I don't know how you felt. 'Cause I'm sure that's probably really.
I
hard for
remember
you.
exactly where I was.
Okay.
I pulled over. Because we had I rented those like silent symbols for the shoot, remember?
Yes. Yeah.
And I had to return them in the city. And I was in my car because I could like kind of drive. Like it sucked, but I drove myself to But I remember you called me and I just pulled over to the side of Manhattan and we had that talk and I was just like, God, this sucks, man.
No,
I cannot believe this is like a conversation. But I was in so much pain that I just like couldn't even.
You have
I
to
didn't
take
care
care
about-
of yourself.
I didn't care about anything other than not feeling like that anymore. And then
Yeah, I remember just like because obviously we all wanted you to do it, and like especially like you and I have been in this band for so long that finally get this like opportunity to play arenas, like these massive venues, and I'm like,
That was the first one. That was the first.
yeah,
opportunity or
exactly,
anything
and like
that.
out of all like obviously everyone here deserves to be on that stage, but I was like, you and I have been here for so long, and I was like, of course you deserve to be there, and I remember the thing in my head that like I was so like worried about was like. I saw how desperate you were during the festival run where you were like trying to do anything, like anything that you can do, can take or whatever was like you're willing to do. And my big fear is that like you would have, out of desperation, taken some things and then like wouldn't have woken up and I would have not lived with myself.
Yeah.
You know, to be like, okay, like, because you slept next to me, and I'm like, there's no chance that you'd have been like desperate every day just trying to get through. And I totally understand that. I think I would have done exactly the same thing. And I was like, I would have been so devastated if you were trying to do this thing and like taking a bunch of stuff and like not knowing what you're mixing, because everyone was like throwing you like, here's this thing, here's this thing, here's
Yeah,
this
and
thing.
it was all like just like different countries' version of a upgraded Tylenol. But like at
Yeah.
some point, it was like I don't even know what I'm taking.
Yeah, and I was just fearful of like that would have been like a bad like concoction of stuff. Then you would just like not been there, and I'm like, I would much rather you be there missing a tour than like not being there at all. And
Or
I
it
was
does permanent damage.
Yeah.
Like you work through the pain that you don't even realize that you're going through, and now it's like, okay, well now you can't walk. You got through the tour, congrats, but
Yeah.
like you can't walk ever.
And I also realized when we were going to the airport,
Which airport?
so we had to layover in Amsterdam.
Oh yeah.
And I remember we had to walk, we had to like run across the entire
Sprint.
airport, and I was like, I'm sitting there walking, I'm like, there's no chance Austin could have done
No.
this at all. I was
No.
like, we had to like run like we had like 45 minutes to catch our flight, and we had to like literally run across the entire airport, and I was like, thank God Austin's not here, because we would have 100% missed that flight. We literally almost missed that flight, but also we just didn't have any of our gear. But
But none of the
Yeah.
gear showed up.
So
Oh no!
Yes, that was my favorite- that was my favorite thing.
Oh,
I remember being like asking you guys what's going on, or just seeing the chat. It was just like gear's not there. Yeah, and I'm just like, God, this just cannot go any which way.
All
for
the
guys.
unimportant things made it.
I think
all the
literally
important
just
things
like
got
I
left
think
behind.
just the wireless showed up, and that's about it.
Yeah.
And like
No
our suitcases,
X32, no guitars,
Nothing.
like,
Dude,
nothing.
pedals didn't show up. No drum
nothing.
shit showed
Like
up.
literally, I remember. And the worst part is
I was shitting my pants.
the worst part is like we had air tags and everything, and obviously we have a layover in Amsterdam. So I'm looking at the air tags and I'm like, oh yeah, it's at an airport, and I'm thinking it's like at the Berlin airport, and then I zoom out and I just see like Amsterdam, and I'm like, no chance that like all of it. And like literally I was like, all right, maybe some of it's stuff to show up, because sometimes, you know, with service, whatever, we're just on a plane, and I just saw that dreaded like belt just stop spinning, and I'm like, we got a wireless.
All hope is lost
I was like,
in that moment.
We have a wireless. And then I talked to the guy, and I was just like, yeah, so like we are missing 12 of our 13 bags.
So that was because we had the quick 1 hour layover one.
Literally, yes, exactly. Remember we run, and then we got to the gate, and I thought we got to the gate. We had to take a shuttle to the bus or to the plane. I remember being on that plane, sending in music video notes to Pain One before we took off. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get this in before we take off, and because we were watching like the final cut of Pain Remains One, like on like in our seat on the plane,
I remember that. Yeah.
and then I was like, there's no chance our gear is making it on this plane. I was like, oh, but it might.
If we had to run,
There's no chance.
unless the person's just running with everything,
There's no chance. And then I remember I told the guy at the airport in Berlin, I was like, after I put in the claim for all of our 12 missing items, I was like, hey, like, would it be like an issue if we just drive to Amsterdam and pick it up? And he looked at me like I was nuts. And I was like, can we just drive to the airport and pick this up? And he said, what do you mean? I was like, can we just go and pick it up? Like, I was like, we have a driver. We'll drive the 6 hours to go pick up our gear at the airport. And he's like, oh, well, you're putting a claim, so it'll definitely show up. I'm like,
Oh,
there's
Yeah,
no...
'cause basically we had the layover in Amsterdam. We landed in Berlin. None of the gear showed up. Our first show was the next day in Leipzig, but we were so desperate for our gear that it was like an actual possible scenario that we were going to drive from Berlin to Amsterdam and then drive all the way to Leipzig.
so we can make it to the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then I remember I was talking to Steve, our manager, and he was like, can you guys play the show? I was like, Steve, we just have a wireless. Because you're like, can you guys borrow gear? And I was like,
You don't understand.
no, it's not how this works. We like literally
don't have anything.
we don't have anything. Like we don't have literally. I was like, I have my laptop, and we have wireless. I was like, we don't even have our in-ears. Like our in-ears were like in like the guitar cases, or someone like if anyone had their in-ears in their backpack, but like my in-ear was literally in my guitar case. And I was like, so we literally cannot get through the show whatsoever. And I'm like, this is embarrassing. I was like, I'm ready to just hop on the next plane out of here. I was like, Austin's not going to be here. Moke's filling on our drums. Our gear didn't show up. I was like, the universe is telling us don't do this tour.
But
We did it.
we ended up having a great tour.
I
I
have
thought
no
it was
idea.
one of my, aside from when I got fucking food poisoning for like 5 days,
Oh,
it
that was-
Still played.
was throwing up
That
dude,
was honestly
like
sick.
plasma.
Dude,
It was a very good tour.
I
Wasn't
will
there-
never forget that day. He literally is puking right before the set, And I'm like, bro, you don't have to do this. He picks up the microphone, walks to the stage. I was just like,
I remember coming over to you guys like
fucking
crying.
respect,
I know.
dude.
I remember crying. I was like, I don't want to go in there, but I gotta go in there, but and you guys were like, don't go out there. And I was like, no.
Dude, he nutted up so fast.
Yeah,
It
I
was
remember
so
I said to you, I was like, you don't have to go on stage. Like, we'll figure it
That's
out.
so strange. to
I know.
me.
I mean, it would have been weird. Just like, Austin's not on stage. You're not on stage. Just me, Moke, and Andrew on stage. In, like, in Frankfurt in front of, like, thousands of people. Like, that would have been... Honestly, that would have been beast. I would have got you. I would have been like, yo, this next song is Into the Earth.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, I got you. Don't worry. I would have done all your little speeches. I would have figured it out.
It was a fast tour, though. I will say we went by. I feel like what was even a notable thing from that?
I mean,
We just ate
The
McDonald's.
campsite.
We missed you.
Oh, I don't
hell
know
yeah.
anything. Yeah,
The
I don't know much.
campsite, the Belgian campsite.
No, that was during the festival run.
That was festival.
Oh, yeah.
And
that's
I-
right.
When was Rock and Roll McDonald's? Was it that tour?
That was that time.
Yeah.
Oh, that was.
Yeah, so
the best.
basically all Will would do is pester our driver to take us McDonald's, and like shout out Yasik because like as much as like we probably annoyed him, he would do it, but it got to just be a bit where we would just annoy him to
We would
take
just
us,
literally get in the band and he would say it before we did.
It's a
Yeah.
rock and roll.
like yeah.
Like, yeah.
I don't think I even wanted McDonald's, but I just liked the bit of just like telling Yasik, who's like this like black metal like vegan dude who's just like taking us through
That place is shit.
that place is shit.
It was legitimately like 5 out of 7 nights a week.
It was amazing.
It was every single day, dude.
The funniest part was like all the catering was like phenomenal on that tour. We still ate McDonald's
We-
every fucking
then there was
day.
like times McDonald's was closed and we walked through the drive-through, and we just had to commit to just getting McDonald's every night.
Yeah.
It was sick. I enjoyed it.
We definitely walked. I remember it.
I remember.
I do
Sounds like
I got the chicken wings, so
It was-
sounds like pain.
It was pain. It literally was pain.
Whatever gets you through.
It
It was
barely
rock
got
and
us.
roll McDonald's.
But like that,
rock and roll.
I remember it was
dude.
like so crazy because everyone was telling us at that point in time, like, oh, it must be crazy you're playing arenas. And I was like, this is not that great because like as much as it's cool to be playing in front of all these people, like my mind was like elsewhere because like we were turning in these music videos while we're on tour. So like I remember getting off stage and then running to my laptop to send like music video
Email.
notes to Pain 2. And I was like, I just need to send it in now because of the time difference. So like it shows up in time for him. And then I just feel like I couldn't enjoy any show. And then I was like,
Did
also
that song come out on that tour?
Pain 2 came out on that
Or
tour.
Pain 1? What?
Pain 1 and Pain 2.
Yeah.
And I remember it was like, okay, like I'm having to just rush off and then start to prepare the session for like the headline tour. So like all I was doing was just sitting in front of a laptop. I feel like I just would run on stage, play the show, and then like go back to like taking care of everything because we were like literally going back into tour, which like everyone was like, oh, it must be amazing playing arenas. And I was like, I don't know what that's like. I like got on stage, I get off, and I'm just like,
Dude,
all
that
right.
was like a fever dream.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
like
remember
it was crazy, but
I mean, and then when you guys came home, like, yeah, I felt like better, so it was nice, and I was like, cool, ready to go back on tour, and the album's coming out. And then for me, I was like, yo, these shows are huge. We're playing TLA, Philly, and I was like, you guys just played
We were like,
20,000.
I remember I walked in, I was like, where's the catwalk?
yeah.
Yeah, I
The
was-
catwalk was the craziest
That was the-
thing I've ever seen. at
I've
any
never-
show.
I still think I probably shit my pants. Every night I would go on that catwalk because you're like, dude, for curses, like,
You gotta go. That it makes sense.
He's like,
dude.
you're like, you have to come up, and I was like, there's no way I'm coming up. And then like I started doing it, and I remember just the first time I was doing it, I was like, and then because I see like people,
You're
it's, like,
out there in the middle
like
of the
exposed,
stage.
like
dude.
people are just seeing from behind me,
They're
like
looking at
seeing-
your ass and your face at the same time.
At the same time, and I'm just like, yeah, I got this. I'm gonna nail this. And I'm like, there's no chance, man. There's no chance. And then after I started doing it, I was like, yo, I kind of feel myself a little bit. And then I felt kind of comfortable. And then we go play that tour, and I'm like, where the fuck
I'm not
is the,
feeling myself.
where's the
anymore.
catwalk? Are you kidding me? Where's catering?
Meanwhile, I'm at home just getting folders from Luca posting like, yo, 6 show last night. Looking at my bedroom, see like, 6 show last night. Adam hit the catwalk. Dude, stoked to see Hellfire in fucking Austria. Sold out tomorrow. I'm like, turn back on, I don't know, King of the Hill.
People just kept coming up to me and go, Austin. I'm like,
Moke.
I'm not Austin, man.
That's awesome.
That's beast. Yeah. Then we finally got through that tour. And then once we got home from that, it was like, okay, the album's coming out in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, and like, because Pain Remains 1 and 2 came out, you were on that tour,
I think Pain 3 came out the day of release,
which was,
the 14th of October.
Did we start toward that? No.
No,
later.
it started like a week after. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we were at Dingbat or Dingo's Den.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
hibachi
we went to
birthday.
hibachi together.
Oh,
The
yeah.
hibachi birthday where I worked.
Earrings?
Yeah. No, it wasn't Aaron.
I don't know the name.
Oh, where you wore the mask.
Yeah.
Your birthday.
Birthday, too.
It was your
It was
birthday.
in like
dude.
Clifton.
Yeah, we like the record came out,
Holy
and then we got
shit.
hibachi, and then we went and drank, and I think I was so fucked up that I slept in the studio that night.
We went back to the studio. We slept there.
Yeah, because you were practicing like flesh coughing, and I was like, yeah, I'll help you out, and I was on the couch just passed out, like, well, I'm hearing flesh coughing. I was like, this is terrible. But I was like, I can't drive home. I was like, I'm annihilated right now. And then
It was beast.
slept at the studio. That wasn't the first time I slept at the studio though, so like it felt like home at that point.